Bernice says, "Hi guys, how about when a guy who's trying to win you send a good night and then how are you in 1 minute? What's that about?" So he sent you a good night and then how are you? So he was like, "Good night. How are you?" What- Sounds like he was a little bit confused. Just ignore the good night. I mean, he could have been sending that good night to somebody else. I mean, I don't know. What we'd have to know more about the context of this guy. Is he a good guy? What's happened before that? Have you gone on dates with him before? Does he have any red flags? Because people make mistakes, right? Like one of the things that we're in right now, not only are we in the hookup culture as far as the dating space is concerned, but we're also kind of in this space where a lot of people are just cutting people off for like nonsensical little things, right? You make a mistake. Oh, he made a mistake. He's out, right? And we should be giving people a little bit more benefit of the doubt than that, right? There's always a middle spot. There's the middle spot where on one side, you're like dropping dudes because, he sneezed and you don't like it when people sneeze and I can't believe a man would sneeze around me, right? And that's usually when you're first dating and you've got like these massively unrealistic standards that you're holding up for men, and you're like, he said good night and then he said how are you, and it's like that could have just been a mistake. Maybe he sent the good night to the wrong person or whatever, right? He could have been saying good night to his mom. I mean, you have no idea, right? And so what you want to look at is over time, right? Because there's this other side of the spectrum where you're like, the guy's throwing red flags in your face and you're just like, oh, I'm pushing, you're like swimming through the red flags. You're like, oh, no, no, it's okay. He's still a good man. I see the good in him, right? And you want to come into the middle ground. And the middle ground is, we all make mistakes. We all do dumb things. We all have these little things that may or may not be good. And at the same time, we want to give people some benefit of the doubt. We still want to look at their behaviors and actions over time and make sure that we're getting ourselves into a good situation without ignoring big glaring red flags and big patterns and things that you should be worried about, right? And so most things, the magic is in the middle. Most things, right? Showing interest, the magic is in the middle, right? Connecting with a guy, the magic is in the middle. Most things, the magic is in the middle. And so, Bernice, you want to find the middle ground. Find that middle ground because that's where the magic is. That's where the magic is.